day. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into First Take. Thank you for being with us. Stephen A., I was a little nervous. The Morris twins hustling over from the other studio, getting your shot set. But y'all are here right on time. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, let's dive in, guys. Advantage OKC took a 3-2 lead last night at home. It was a rough night for Tyrese Haliburton. The two-time All-Star aggravated a right leg injury in the first quarter. After he lost his balance on a drive, he hit the floor, left for the locker room briefly before returning 4 minutes into the second in their 11-point loss to the Thunder. The question is, was it a mistake playing Hallie? Here he is, and his head coach, Rick Carlisle.
He's not 100%. It's pretty clear. But I don't think he's going to miss the next game. And, you know, we were concerned at halftime, and he insisted on playing. And I thought he made a lot of really good things happen in the second half. But he's not 100%. You know, and there's a lot of guys in this series that aren't.
I mean, it's NBA Finals. It's the finals, man. I've worked my whole life to be here, and I want to be out there to compete. You know, help my teammates any way I can. You know, I was not great tonight by any means, but you know, it's not really a thought of mine to not play here. You know, if I can, you know, walk, then I want to play. So, you know, they understand that, and you know, is what it is, and you know, got to be ready to go for Game 6.
All right, Stephen A., I appreciate the sentiment of Hallie, him wanting to play, being a gamer. He wanted to help his team, but did it hurt his team? Really, that's the question. So do you think Rick Carlisle made a mistake in playing him in the second half?
I thought it was a colossal mistake on the part of Rick Carlisle, and I don't say that much because this is a champion and one of the great coaches in the game of basketball, somebody that I've known for over a quarter century, and he's a champion, and he's going to the Hall of Fame. He's one of the elite coaches in the game of basketball, but I thought he dropped the ball last night. Certainly, we could look at Tyrese Haliburton, and we could say maybe you could have whispered to the coach, TJ McConnell is rolling. You got to roll with that right now, the way he was playing in that third quarter and overall in that second half. And I'll be honest with you, I think TJ McConnell has played better than Tyrese Haliburton this entire series, with the exception of Game 3. I really think. Look at what he's been doing. Look at the Energizer Bunny that he has been. But there is no question that the accountability. There's no question that the accountability falls on the shoulders of Rick Carlisle in this regard. Tyrese Haliburton was an absolute no-show. He had nothing. It was an awful game. If you saw it and you had to remind yourself that he's injured, because you're saying to yourself, how in God's name can you be that bad as a point guard, as a young star point guard for a team in an NBA final stage? It was awful because it was a complete no-show. But then you remember he had that calf injury, similar to him having a hamstring injury in the conference finals last year against Boston. And you look at how limited he was and what he couldn't do. Couldn't get open, couldn't get loose, couldn't evade offenders, certainly couldn't find a shot. Absolutely no show. 17 minutes, 0 points in the first half. 17 minutes in the second half, just 4 points. All 4 points came on free throws. Couldn't make one single shot. And when you take that into account and look at the way TJ McConnell was playing, and the fact that this was not a closeout game, you were not down 3-1. It wasn't do or die. You weren't going home. You have Game 6 to look forward to. Not only should he have pulled Haliburton, he should not have even allowed Haliburton on the bench. He should have sent them back to the locker room and said, go get treated now so we can get ready for Game 6. Because his health was that bad. I'm talking health, guys. I'm not talking his game. I'm talking health. I'm saying clearly he didn't need to even be sitting out there. You yank him. You see the way TJ McConnell is flowing. You see the Energizer Bunny that he is. Go back to the locker room. Get treated. Get ready to get on the plane. We going to need you Game 6, and if necessary, a Game 7. But you don't have it tonight because of that calf. That was a call that Rick Carlisle should have made, and I thought that it's rare in his coaching career that I think he's made a mistake. Last night was wonderful.
Getting a lot of facial expressions here from Marcus and Markieff. Marcus, you take it first.
First, let me say, hey, I say, don't be calling my phone at 11 o'clock talking about my man ain't show up. That's yes, first. Don't be calling me, put in my face. Listen,
I called them. Say this. I said, I want to hear word.
Hey, I got to say this. I know that Rick Carlisle is a really good coach, right? And this is a league where you have to stand by your players. When I watched Tyrese Haliburton, I didn't see a guy that couldn't play in that game. I see a guy that was hampered, that couldn't get past guys that wasn't his normal self, but I didn't see a guy that could not have played. Yes, you know, T.J. McCollum was playing well in the third quarter. You know, rightfully so. He's playing, you know, that's his unit. They push the ball. They play fast. He's been effective at that. But he has to play in these games. Like, you don't know what can happen. It was 95-93 with 8 minutes to go on the clock when Haliburton was on the court. One big shot away from cracking that lead open. Yes, they turned the ball over and they went on a 25-16 run to end that game. But even with him not playing that well, they still had a shot, right? Like, yes, you might want to have put TJ back in that game. But me personally, I'm going with my player, and I feel like that as a good coach, a Hall of Fame coach, he had to go to him and say, can you play? Do you want to play? And Tyrese Haliburton, knowing that this is his team and they go run by how he goes, he had to get back in that game. Regardless if he couldn't play as well, it wasn't like he's beating Lou Dort off the dribble anyway in any of these games. Maybe you needed to be a bit more coaching and maybe add some plays in to see if he really can get to that bucket or do whatever it is to take to get him over that top. But there's no way that I'm taking my player out, especially if I'm a coach like that and I spoke to him and I seen can he play, and he wasn't like crazy hobbly out there. I say he wasn't like where it was like he cannot be in this game right now, snatch him out. I just didn't see that. So with that being said, I'm leaving him out on the court.
Keith?
I agree with you, Marcus. So I kind of look at this like as in Aaron Gordon from the Nuggets, right? Mm-hmm. When you seen Aaron Gordon on the court, you knew like he cannot move at all. Like he's hampered. When you watch Tyrese Haliburton, it wasn't the same thing. His pace stayed the same. It was the part where he couldn't create a shot, couldn't get around players, but he wasn't doing that the entire game. And we have seen this in this postseason where game 2, I think it was, where he had 4 points going into the fourth quarter. It's kind of like the same exact thing.
No. It was 2. But go ahead.
But it's not the same exact thing.
4 free throws for the game.
Rightfully so. I'm not discrediting you. I'm not discrediting you for what you're saying. I'm just saying when my eyes didn't say when I was watching Tyrese Haliburton that you can't be on the court. It didn't show that. It showed that he couldn't get past nobody.
But he couldn't get past him.
He was still playing at that pace, like Marcus said, with 8 minutes left in the game.
He hasn't played well at OKC anyway. He hasn't played well.
I'm not giving him a benefit of the doubt. He played piss poor. He played horrible yesterday. I say terrible. But what I'm saying is, when I watched him with my eyes, it didn't look like an Aaron Gordon situation where you're this hurt that is obviously being showed that you cannot be on the court. I did not see that yesterday.
All right. Okay, all right, let me try a different way. Because y'all something else. It's unbelievable. I gotta give it to y'all. Y'all sound, I mean, y'all are saying, I mean, mama would be proud. Y'all just so nice. Y'all just throwing it out there so nice and all that stuff. And by the way, give Mama Morris my love. We gotta give Mama Morris some love here. Here's the deal, fellas. Come on now.